Thank you for tuning in to WDRB Media, the voice of the community. You are listening to Beyond the Barriers with Coach Cindy
and Mayor Sherry. On the Beyond the Barriers radio show, we believe we have the power to change the trajectory of our economic, social, health, and education outcomes by removing barriers that lie within historically excluded communities through cooperative models.
And our show sponsors is Sand Hills Cooperation Association, located at 348 North Main Street, Troy, North Carolina, serving 5 counties: Montgomery, Randolph, Moore, Richmond, and Stanley County.
Today we are discussing health in historically excluded communities. We will shed light on the pervasive barriers faced by these communities, ranging from hesitancy in asking doctors important questions to challenges in adopting healthy eating habits. You will gain insight into the underlying factors contributing to these barriers and explore potential solutions for promoting better health outcomes in these often overlooked populations. We will work towards breaking down the obstacles that have long hindered access to quality health care and wellness in historically marginalized communities. Ready to ignite change? Sand Hills Cooperation Association empowers historically excluded communities, helping them become self-sufficient. Join us every Sunday at 5 o'clock p.m. for our Beyond the Barriers radio show on WDRB Media with Mayor Sherry
and Coach Cindy, addressing community challenges. Visit us at sandhillscooperation.org or visit us on Facebook, Sand Hills Cooperation Association, building brighter futures one community at a time.
Beyond the Barriers radio show.
Hello, Coach Cindy. How are you today?
I'm good, Mayor Sherry. How are you doing?
I am doing well. It is good to be here in the month of March.
Yes.
And we are talking about community health.
Yes.
Last week, we talked about the traditional medicine.
Right.
With the former director of Montgomery County's health department, the director. And so she was very informative. This week, we are focusing more on alternative medicine.
Yes.
I read an article. So this article came from the Spokesman, and the title is Black Distrust for Modern Medicine Drives Movement to Holistic Health.
Good.
It does.
Yes.
And it used a name, naturopathic doctors.
Right.
And so can you expound on what naturopathic doctors are?
Well, I know more about what the difference between naturopathic doctors and traditional doctors.
Okay. All right.
So naturopathic doctors actually look for healing. They actually look for nature's way of healing us. And where versus most traditional doctors, the medicines come out of labs.
Okay. Gotcha.
But with naturopathic doctors, they also treat the whole person. So that you can go in for, you're not feeling well because you got a bad stomach, but they don't stop there. They want to know the whole person so that they can see what's feeding the issue in your stomach. Mm-hmm. So they deal with your mind, body, and soul.
Gotcha.
Which is not new to us as Black people.
Right.
This is actually a practice that came out of Africa that was really talked about as voodoo.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying there was no voodoo.
Right.
I don't know everything about what the practices entailed in different tribes because different tribes had different ways of doing medicine.
Right.
But there were doctors. There were medicine doctors. There were, some of them called them witch doctors, because I think, but they got the stigma was because it wasn't things that Europeans knew about.
Okay.
So if it wasn't something that they could think of or claim, then it had to be bad.
Right. Witchery.
Right. Now, again, I'll say I'm not sure that all of it was good and holy, but I know for the most part, those medicines came out of the earth. It came from the herbs and the plants that God had already said in the Bible that most Europeans read,
Right.
most of the world, the United States anyway, read about. It talks about the practices that we have used for centuries in our Black communities. So when we got acclimated to natural medicines, we start seeing a lot of things happening with our bodies that wasn't happening. Like when I grew up, just a personal story. I grew up, my mom, we didn't do traditional medicines. My mom knew about lion's tail. My mom knew about mullein. My mom knew about, so she would make teas. We would have to drink those teas. We did turpentine with a spoonful of sugar and a drop of turpentine.
Wow. How often?
About once a week.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Once a week, just to keep the worms away, which were things that caused diseases. I was never sick as a child. I wanted to be, just so I could stay out of school. But every day we had perfect attendance all the time as children in school because we could not stay out of school and claim to be sick. I remember specifically we had to drink lots of teas, different things. If she saw something coming on, and we played a lot in the dirt barefoot, so she would give us these medicines that came out of our backyard or somewhere where she would, get it in nature, and she'd bring it back to us and she'd make us eat it or drink it. And we were never sick.
Wow.
When we grew up, we start acclimating to the things of the world, take them to the doctor, and the doctor start prescribing these things. It was only then that our bodies start reacting the way that they react. Now, for the most part, most all of us have lived healthy lives, but still, when you talk about holistic medicines, now there's holistic with the W, which means the whole person.
Right.
And then there's holistic with the H, which means it comes out of the holiest part of what God has called us to be and do, and how we're supposed to react to those things that He's given us freely. Right. Which are the herbs of the field, the plants, the trees, the apples, all these things that He give us so that our bodies can be well. That's what we're getting back to. The movement you were speaking about. That's what we're coming back to, because of decades and decades of medicine, traditional medicines, and they say it boldly. After effects,
right?
Could be death.
Side effects, and
could be death.
Right.
And even when they offer up the strengths of the medicine, it's gonna prolong your life. You can't prolong. What do you mean? What is that?
Right.
I could go out here and die tomorrow from a crash.
Exactly. It's not promised.
But they don't say prolong your health.
Wow.
They don't say that. They say prolong your life. Like, nobody can promise that.
Right.
I'm glad about the movement.
Right.
That's my personal take.
Well,
I'm glad about the movement.
I mean, the whole vegan, like the vegan movement, those people that are staying away from meat, especially within the Black community. I know it pretty much started like with Islam, the Nation of Islam, where they don't eat pork and those different things. But we're seeing that it's not so much as attached to a religion, but it's attached to healthy living.
Yes.
And that is a very big push. I've been seeing it within our young people too. Yeah. Like a lot of the young ones are staying away from my daughter. Like she does do meat at times, but she stays away from the chocolate. She stays away from the sodas. She only drinks water most of the time. And so to see that within our historically excluded communities, they're pretty much taking responsibility for their health.
I think I'm sad that it took us dying at a tremendous rate. Right. And again, I think COVID played a big part in it. It unveiled some health disparities within our communities. And I think we realize now, if we don't love and take care of ourselves, then really
nobody else is
going to do it. And so I think all of these movements are really good. I think we need to be careful, because when something good happens like this, the systems figure out a way to make what they do look authentic. So you can't just go online and just say, "Oh, that says it's herbal. That says it's organic." And then buy it thinking that you're getting an authentic product, because you may not.
Right.
And really, a lot of times you can just get it by just
growing it in your backyard, right?
Yes. Yes. From stuff that you can gather yourself and make teas. My mom didn't go looking for that stuff. In stores and online, because we didn't have online back then. But she went in the backyard and she sent us.
Right.
She would tell us what it's supposed to look like, and she was like, "And go pick me a certain amount of that," and we bring it back. And sometimes we dreaded it because some of the teas weren't all that tasty. But
Right.
But
Put some honey in there a little bit.
Yeah, well, and she would from them. And I remember her having honeycombs. She would tell us, "Leave them bees alone." Like, you know how children don't want to go.
Right, just go and mess with them.
Yeah, leave them bees alone. Because she would take the honeycomb.
Oh, my.
And so those natural honeys that come from local, those bees, the pollen and stuff, that helps you right in your environment. Our environments are built to keep us healthy.
Right. I heard that as far as honey goes, it's best to eat local honey because it helps you with allergies and those different. But that's not information that people put out there. No, they're not. No. And it's sad because if we are kept sick, then the capitalism of this country is all based upon the dysfunction and the society's dependency on people making them well. So let's build bigger heart centers and cancer centers. And I'm going to tell you something that I saw in this article, which was interesting. It says there's a long history of deep-rooted racism and medical experimentation in the United States healthcare system, and it has fostered distrust from many Black Americans. As an alternative, the Black community is considering naturopathic care. This system of primary health care promotes self-healing and disease prevention by using botanical remedies and other therapies. Now that we're marching into wellness and we're navigating through healthcare within our historically excluded communities and talking about all of these, the self-healing, the botanical remedies and all of that, how can our communities go in this direction or make it to where it is a standard for our communities and our historically, how can we do this with this botanical remedies?
It's definitely a movement, and the movement is not to the swift.
Gotcha.
It's to the endurer, because we have to unlearn some stuff as a people. Most of us, when we do engage in traditional doctors, they somehow become our gods. Like the doctor said.
Right.
So if the doctor said it, then that's what I should be doing. But I think our guest for today is going to open up some avenues to start this journey as a community. Because first, we talk about community. It's not just geographical.
Right.
Community is relational. We have things in common. We have common goals. We have common disparities. We have common intentions. When you're talking about a community of people, I think, and I imagine this a lot, that what we do as a community will be transforming communities everywhere. Like, because we are United States full of marginalized or historically excluded communities who are very powerful. Right. Whether they realize it or not, they are very powerful, and we can together make this holistic life happen for all of us. And I'm looking forward to it, because really it comes right out the garden.
Right. So your community gardens, I hear that right there. Do you think community gardens was a phase?
No, I think that what happens is, and this is part of the journey that we're embarking upon, is again the unlearning, because there's stigma behind gardening and farming, but it's quickly breaking down, because people are realizing that what has been told to us about plantations and
picking
farming
cotton.
But I mean, cotton was such a great commodity when we were enslaved. That's how they kept the industry going, was by our labor.
Right.
So now, if I got that kind of power to make them rich, how about let's do that
for ourselves.
Exactly.
In Montgomery County, I know, and we do have a wonderful guest, and so we got to get to her.
Yes.
But in Montgomery County, we only have one BIPOC farmer, one Black farmer in Montgomery County. I haven't did any research as it relates to the other counties that we do serve. That's something that we definitely need to do. But I know you stated how our communities are like community gardening, even something that could be out in your own community or space there. We tend to put that in our mind about, I'm not working in nobody's field, or I'm not doing that. How can we shift? I know you said the unlearning, but in that unlearning, what is it that you seem to be successful with community gardening and as well as farming, if you have any input on that?
Entrepreneurship. That's going to help with our unlearning. When you're not doing it for someone else, you're doing it for yourself.
Right.
And this is actually showing them how to make this a viable business. Like, so now you don't have to clock in to somebody else's dream.
Right.
You can literally stay in your own dream.
Right.
And make that dream happen for you and your family. And to talk about legacy, which with SCA, we get an opportunity to help people to understand this is not just about what you're doing right now. This is about keeping the line going.
Right.
To the future. Your children, your children's children. It's generational wealth. I think when you teach about gardening in that respect or farming in that respect, people have a whole new idea. Like, oh, so now I'm not working for Mr. Charlie. I'm doing me.
Right. And I can make a lot of money.
I can make a lot of money
because it can be lucrative.
Mr. Charlie made a lot of money.
Yes.
And we had the initiative at SCA with the mushroom grow rooms to show communities, even if you don't want to do it on an individual basis, there's a way for community to have an opportunity to grow a commodity. Mushrooms are a medicinal commodity, and it's an ingredient in cuisines that all over the world. So you can take that business and fund your community.
Right. And we definitely we will be going more into depth as it relates to the initiatives that SCA is going forward. But in the meantime, we're going to have to move this train on because we have in our studio our guest, and that guest will learn who that guest is.
Yes.
After this message. We are in our March to Wellness, navigating healthcare in historically excluded communities, and we'll be right back after this message.
Beyond the Barriers radio show.
Attention innovators, community builders, and champions of positive change. Beyond the Barriers radio show is inviting you to be part of our empowering journey. We're on the lookout for sponsors who believe in breaking barriers and amplifying voices in historically excluded communities. Want to showcase your brand or cause to our engaged audience? Visit Sandhills Corporation or to explore exciting sponsorship opportunities, from on-air endorsements to impactful commercials. Become a part of a platform that celebrates resilience, triumph, and community strength. Our show is not just about telling stories. It's about shaping narratives and making a lasting impact. By sponsoring Beyond the Barriers, you align your brand with a mission of inclusivity, empowerment, and positive change. Visit sandhillscooperation.org today to purchase advertisements, endorsements, or even secure a spot as a guest on our show. Let's break barriers together and create a vibrant, connected community. Beyond the Barriers radio show, where every sponsorship is an investment in positive transformation. Be a catalyst for change. Visit sandhillscooperation.org now. Beyond the Barriers radio show. Breaking barriers, building connections.
Today we are discussing March into Wellness, navigating healthcare in our historically excluded communities.
Thank you for tuning in to WDRB Media, the voice of the community. You're listening to Beyond the Barriers radio show, and I'm your host, Mayor Sherry.
And I'm Coach Cindy.
And today's topic, we're talking about community health, looking at health and wellness in our historically excluded communities. And we have for our guest today, Dr. Jeannisa Bowden. Dr. Bowden, how you doing today?
Wonderful. Thank you for having me.
It's good that you're here with us today. Can you introduce yourself to our listeners?
Yes, so I'm Dr. Jeannisa Bowden. I am a naturopathic doctor specializing in holistic health care.
And where do you do your work?
So I am located in West End, North Carolina, also known as Seven Lakes.
How long have you been in this field?
So I've been in this field since 2019.
Before you went into healthcare, what were you doing before then?
So actually, before I went into holistic healthcare, I was in allopathic medicine. So I was nursing and managing managing multiple family medicine clinics.
Now, being in holistic healthcare and where your past was before, what do you see some of the main differences as it relates to the fields?
Allopathic medicine is pharmaceutical driven, of course, with the two approaches being pharmacy or prescription medication and surgery. Whereas holistic healthcare, allopathic is also like a maintenance kind of healthcare. Whereas holistic healthcare is more or less health and wellness. We do the non-invasive approach, and our approach is on healing. We get to the root cause of your issue. So we want to prepare the body to naturally heal itself, not repress anything, but heal itself.
So is there something going on, Jeannisa, in your practice of traditional medicine that motivated you to go into holistic?
Healthcare has always been my passion, even in grade school. Healthcare has always been my passion. I knew no other way except allopathic medicine. Mm-hmm. But being in allopathic medicine for over 30 years, and seeing what I saw and know what I know, I did not want that route. Truly, right. I know I wanted more and wanted to do more to help people, but I did not want to be that person to have to diagnose someone with something or prescribe a prescription to someone that may not even need that prescription. Healthcare is a broad field. I just researched and found naturopathic healthcare and fell in love with that approach. So that's why I am where I am now. I stepped out on faith, and I truly believe that this is what the Lord wants me to do, is to be in place to help heal the people.
Could you expound a little on the difference between the allopathic and the holistic for our viewers, just in case we have some listening that don't quite understand why you made the transition?
Just expounding on the difference, and I don't exclude really one from the other, because we know that allopathic medicine, number one in the world when it comes to emergency care and saving lives. Mm-hmm. So if I was having a heart attack, of course, I wouldn't want someone to bring you to me, get me to a hospital somewhere. But just with that saying again, your conventional medicine is pharmaceutical driven. It focuses more on the illness or the disease, of course, so we can give you a diagnosis, but not necessarily the person. Mm-hmm. So it's more of a disease management system. Whereas holistic medicine, again, we care about the illness or the dis-ease and the person. Right. So we focus on the whole person, the body, mind, spirit, and soul.
Focusing on the mind, body, and soul, why do you feel like that is so important in the medical field to be concerned about those three aspects of person?
I mean, one truly can't survive without the other. Our emotions is a huge impact on our health. One impacts the other.
So the field that you're in, you deal with mental health as well?
I deal with some mental health. I don't get as in-depth as someone who specializes in mental health, but yes, that is a factor also, because again, those things are emotional things also. The mind is very powerful.
Well, I was looking at some statistics through the Mental Health America site from SAMHSA, SAMHSA's, their national surveys. They said that 16%, which is about 4.8 million of our Black and African American people, have reported having a mental illness, and 22.4% of those reported a serious mental illness over the past year, according to this data. Now, looking at the holistic, how does that mental health correlate to our actual physical body? What is the connection between our mental health and our body health?
You know, we truly have to look at our surroundings and everything that's going on with us. That's why I say the whole person. We have to consider the whole person. Black people tend to not seek therapy. We tend to hold things in. We're not a communicable kind of people. And when you're seeing someone like me, we like to talk. We ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
We dig. We want to get it out so that we can understand you as a whole person, you as an individual, to know what approaches to take to help you.
So you guys ask environmental questions as well as mental state of mind. All of these go into how you would diagnose a person's disease.
I do not diagnose anyone.
Oh,
Okay.
How do you conclude what treatment is needed?
By listening to the person, by listening to what they are telling me is going on with them. And then we have non-invasive modalities that we also use. I have an emotional balancing survey that I like to use that covers everything that we're talking about the mental, the mind status. So I use a variety of modalities.
But looking at a plethora of the things that you have been involved in, one recently is that you serve as the president of Holistic Professionals of Color Association, correct?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit more about it? I know Dr. Karen Ray Queen Haymore is the founder of that, and they consider her as the champion for holistic professionals of color. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes. So Holistic Professionals of Color Association is a new movement that I am bringing to Montgomery County. So it is a 501c3 nonprofit organization bringing together holistic professional of color, hence the name, into our community. I want to make this community aware that, hey, we exist. We are amongst you. People should not have to drive to Charlotte, Greensboro, Chapel Hill, some of these bigger areas to receive what's right here in the county. So that's what Holistic Professionals of Color are. We are bringing awareness back to our communities. As we heal ourselves, we heal our communities. This is a new chapter for this area, of course. I am the president. I want to bring holistic health and wellness to the community.
So with holistic professionals, are there professionals of color that join your association with this same mindset, or how do you go about recruiting those professionals?
So I have the social media website up, which is Holistic Professionals of Color Montgomery County Chapter. You will be able to also go to the website holisticprofessionalsofcolor.org to join the local chapter and the national chapter. You will be able to join both. One is a member of both. That's how you would join, by going to holisticprofessionalsofcolor.org. I will be doing things monthly for the community, for this nonprofit. So again, bringing awareness and bringing holistic to the community and involving all professionals of color.
What are the qualifications? Like, what do you deem as professionals?
So you have your massage therapist, you have your yoga, you have your acupuncture, you have your chiropractors. All of these are holistic healing services.
Well, I see you're introducing new programs. What about the Melanin-Centric Health Coach? Is that a program that you are introducing in Montgomery County?
So with Holistic Professionals of Color, we also offer education through Holistic Professionals of Color University.
So have you seen doctors or practitioners coming out of the traditional medicine field and grabbing hold to the holistic practices?
Yes, actually I have seen that. They are wanting a different approach. They are wanting to heal people
instead of medicate them.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was watching some videos earlier last week. One doctor, he talks about they didn't even teach him in school how to heal. They taught him how to treat. And he was like, he was really fed up with pushing pharmaceuticals on people and giving them more hurt. He was like, my first pledge was to do no harm. And he was like, and most of the medicines that they give were actually doing more harm to people than they were good. So he got out of the field. He started making medicine, holistic medicines.
I know in the Black communities, historically excluded communities, we've had to depend a lot on remedies. Right. Depend a lot on
yes.
Right. Like
yes.
Going out into the fields or into the woods and grab this root and grab this or whatever. And we've had to do that because we didn't have that doctor or and now many are without insurance or do not go to the doctor, period. Through your experience, are people more prone to go to a regular doctor or to a holistic doctor? And tell me, why do you think that to be true?
People are more prone to go to an allopathic doctor because that's what we grew up knowing. You go to the doctor, you get what you need. People of color, we've always been into natural medicine. I mean, when you was little, when you got a bee stung, what did your parents or grandparents tell you to do? Or did put some snuff on it?
Right.
Snuff on it. Oh my goodness! We were never sick as children because of those home remedies.
That's right. So that's really what HPOC is. We're wanting to put our face back on it. We are holistic healthcare and natural healthcare comes from us.
Right.
We want to put our face back on it. We want to educate people how to use it. I was thinking about this the other day. I said truly holistic healthcare or natural healthcare should be your first go-to. Allopathic medicine should be the alternative.
Wow. And it's the other way around.
Right now it is.
Yeah.
But I'm like I said, I've been listening to videos and there are traditional doctors who are saying they're tired of pushing pharmaceuticals because that's basically what allopathic medicine does. A pharmaceutical medicine comes and then they have trials, they have, you go to a doctor, you could be in a trial and not even know it. Right. Because they have samples. They're free. And you want it to be free because you can't afford it. So you take it. They are literally recording what your outcomes are, and they get paid for that. After the break, we will continue our discussion on March into Wellness, navigating healthcare in our historically excluded communities. You are tuned in to WDRB Media, the voice of the community. Don't go anywhere because we will be right back.
Are you tired of the quick fixes that only address symptoms and not the root cause of your health issues? Welcome to Bowden's Natural Health Solution, where our mission is to guide you on a journey to true well-being through natural health care.
At Bowden's, we focus on the whole person body, mind, and spirit. Our team of certified natural health professionals is dedicated to providing complimentary health care that exceeds your expectations. We're not just about treating symptoms. We're about uncovering the root cause.
The National Association of Certified Natural Health Professionals recognizes our commitment to holistic health care in the least invasive way possible. We're here to educate you on the importance of preventive care, helping you improve or maintain your good health naturally.
Remember, we're not medical doctors, and we don't claim to be. But as natural health professionals, we'll research, educate, and provide recommendations tailored just for you.
Ready to embrace a lifestyle of natural health? Visit our website at bowdensnhs.com or call 910-220-8030. Bowden's Natural Health Solution, where your well-being is our top priority.
I'm just a kid, but I know something big. I know the power of community. In our historically excluded neighborhoods, we can rise together. We need your help, your support. Let's build something stronger and break the cycle. A better future is within reach, but we need you. Join hands, be the change. Together, we are a force. This is our community, our story. Will you be a part of it? Visit sandhillscooperation.org and become a part of the change.
Looking for a dynamic workspace to fuel your creativity and boost productivity? Welcome to the Innovative Action Center, your hub for co-working and meeting space at 346 North Main Street, Troy, North Carolina. Become a member and enjoy 24/7 access, high-speed Wi-Fi, cozy coffee bar, and snacks to keep you energized. Elevate your business game with our membership packages. For more information, contact us at 910-573-3070 or visit sandhillscooperation.org. The Innovative Action Center is more than a workspace. It's a community dedicated to business development and job creation. Join us for monthly workshops, seminars, and entrepreneurial services. Take your business to new heights at the Innovative Action Center. Visit us today.
Welcome back to WDRB Media, the voice of the community, and those streaming live through free TuneIn radio app, Streama, Apple Music, Radio Seed, and more. You're listening to Beyond the Barriers radio show, and I'm your host, Mayor Sherry.
And I'm Coach Cindy.
If you're just tuning in, we're discussing March into Wellness, navigating healthcare in historically excluded communities. Joining us in the studio today is our guest, Dr. Jeannisa Bowden with Bowden's Natural Health Solutions. Does insurance cover holistic medicine?
No.
It does
For
not.
someone like me that is traditional, no. Insurance do not cover my services. One, again, we don't diagnose anyone with anything. Two, we don't prescribe anything. One, you have to diagnose in order to prescribe.
Right. Gotcha.
You know, so no, it does
And
not.
and insurance won't cover if it's not a prescribed medicine.
And you know, natural health care, one is all about positioning the body to do what the good Lord designed it to do, which is heal. It don't want to heal, it wants to maintain you, but it don't want to heal because there's no money in healing. Right.
It's happened a lot of times, and I think that holistic medicine and practices are coming to the forefront now, because people are literally understanding that they're dying from. I mean, even when you see a commercial about a pharmaceutical drug, it tells you it's going to kill you. It literally tells you it's going to kill you. But go see your doctor. And that doctor has been trained to push that medicine.
And those licensed medical people that are moving toward natural medicine, they can bill because, again, they are licensed people by the state. They can still bill you with a diagnosis. North Carolina do not license us. But you are a medical doctor, of course, they license them. So that's your difference there. And again, she mentioned the Black person going one versus the other. Insurance-wise, they're going to choose the other because the insurance, of course, will pay for that.
You all also have holistic doulas, right?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about doulas. I've heard that, I know out in Asheville, there's a nonprofit organization. I think it was through Blue Cross Blue Shield, where they promoted doulas, and that was actually my very first time hearing of it. Can you tell us a little bit more about doulas, and is there a trend that many women are going that direction?
Doulas are great. Doulas can stand in the gap and be an advocate for you to help you with your health care. Doulas are almost or similar, they're not midwives, but are similar to midwives. You know, they can help coach you with your home deliveries and things like that also, but they're more so advocates to help you throughout your pregnancy. So doulas are actually great.
Do we have any doulas down in Montgomery County?
We do not have any doulas here. We do have some on the outskirts that I've referred some of my clients to, like your Greensboro and your Charlotte areas, but not here in Montgomery County. So again, that's another reason for bringing holistic professionals of color. So it's not only for us that are already doing the business, but are for those that may be interested in wanting to do these type of things. That's the Holistic Professional of Color University. We're bringing all sorts of things to the community. If you're interested in doing these type things, do visit the university. The university, again, is founded by us, for us, but we welcome everyone who is interested in holistic health care. It is traditionally from HBCUs. Yes.
Okay, all right. With the certifications and the degrees of the Holistic Professional of Color University, that there's women's wellness practitioner, holistic life coach, holistic health practitioner, holistic wellness coach, PhD natural medicine, holistic body alchemist, ACT practitioner, holistic doulas, master of science herbalism, mind body practitioner, nutrition coach. I see a prosperity coach, and more. Now, all of these that we're looking at is so non-traditional. It says it was designed in the tradition of HBCUs, but it is non-traditional. Now, looking at the non-traditional, is there a lot of people actually going in this direction? They're seeing that allopathic medicine is just not where we need to be. Our melanin requires something more in another direction. Are you all seeing an increase of people going in this direction?
Yes, people are wanting to be healed. People are wanting to get better. But unfortunately, at this moment, people seek us as a last resort. I'm tired of not getting better. I've tried this. I've tried that. So then they find us. So yeah, people are moving toward health and wellness.
Even traditional medicine are now trying to, they call it integrative health,
right?
Where they're trying to integrate these. So now you can go and the doctor will prescribe you a vegetable and fruit basket. What really bothers me is that they know that that's not going to actually heal you. It just looks like that they want that for you. Yes, they can prescribe you. And I went into a doctor's office down in Richmond County where she literally had a little market that her people could come, her patients could go after the visit and get a bag and get vegetables and get fruit. But what you guys are doing is much more detailed. It's how to make it your first go-to, like you said, when you preventative medicine as well as don't wait till you get sick, but let's stop from being sick.
Right.
Let's work on our bodies, minds, and souls now that we don't get sick. But there's been something that's been irking me for a while is how it became a narrative in our society that the kind of holistic healing that you are talking about became witchcraft. And I think that narrative is just really been, I was like, that started because it was attacking the traditional way of doing medicine. People were preferring it, so they put that negative. I'm not to say there's not witchcraft. I'm pretty sure there is, but everything that we do is not witchcraft. But we were all bunched into that one narrative, like, if you're not doing the pill that is pharmaceutical, then what you're doing is witchcraft.
Well, which is interesting because pharmaceuticals come from pharma, which is sorcery. Like that root word means sorcery.
Round on you,
Yes.
Right. And so it's just whoever is having the narrative, whoever has the mic and the loudest voice, because coming from Africa, we know that our ancestors, they didn't go by all of this medicine. They didn't go by all of these things. It was off of the land. We lived off of the land. Like Dr. Jeannisa was saying, we had the ability to allow our bodies to heal itself. When we're taking in this medication, we're suppressing it. We are commanding our body, our regular homeostasis body functioning to cease from operating. Even with cancer medication, they tell us if you take radiation, it's going to kill the bad cells and the good cells. Right. These other medications, it's going to help this part, but the side effect is all of these other things, and then may cause death.
It may cause
right. But yet we put this in
go
us.
See your doctor.
Right. And we put these things in us because we have believed somebody else that told us that this could work for us. Right. Like this can, and we trust that. But yet scripture tells us even the tree of life, right? It came from the ground, right? So that's my soapbox right there, Dr. Jeannisa. All of this medicine that's going out and people are taking, it worries me that we trust these practicing doctors with the lives of our people, our communities, and we're just taking it for, oh yeah, they know what's best for me.
Yeah.
You summed it up there, but it's just like you said, we take the doctor's word. We don't advocate for ourselves. Being on that side of the world, I saw a lot of that when people came to my office or I'm talking with them or what have you. We don't ask questions. Why do I have to do that? Why are you prescribing that? Why are you ordering that? We don't do that. Or do I have to take that medicine right now? We have to be persistent. We have to ask questions. And that's what I do with my clients who have multiple diagnoses or are on multiple prescription medication. Yeah, I give them the questions to go back to ask. A little bit of that could be that our people are looked at as being aggressive. So we don't ask the questions. We have to advocate for ourselves. Don't just take the doctor's word at it.
And most of the time, when the doctor is asking the questions, he's actually getting his diagnosis from when he asks the questions and you give him a certain answer. So he compares it to something that he knows works for that.
Right.
And so, but he's not having a conversation. He's just asking questions.
Right.
And you answer the question and he compared it to a note that he has about this medication. And then there you go. I'll write you a prescription.
Right.
There's a big difference between that and actually having a conversation like you say you do with your patients. You actually have a conversation so you can see where their mindset is. You can see what kind of environment they're in. And then you can help them to do better for themselves, to advocate for themselves. I'm excited about the work that you guys are forging as far as your holistic professionals of color, because I think that is something that's much needed. And SEA has actually designed a program called PADS that would include that kind of holistic practice within it so that we can take reins on our own health as a people. So I'm excited about seeing where this goes.
Right. Me too. Thank you so much, Dr. Jeannisa. Any last words that you want to share with our community as it relates to holistic health and the work that you do?
Hey, as we heal ourselves, we heal our community.
That is good. Thank you so much once again. We thank you for just your contribution on how you are helping our communities. And to our listeners, if they want to get in touch with you, how can they contact you, Dr. Jeannisa?
910-220-8030.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You're listening to WDRB Radio, the voice of the community. This is Beyond the Barriers radio show, and I'm your host, Mayor Sherry.
And I'm Coach Cindy.
Beyond the Barriers nugget of wisdom from Coach Cindy.
Hey, this is Coach Cindy with your nugget of wisdom for the week. And this week we're going to talk about a very powerful word in wisdom. So the word we're going to talk about today is forgiveness. Now, forgiveness comes hard to most of us. Someone offends you, someone makes you angry, someone mistreats you, and you are demanded by wisdom to forgive them. So how do you do that? I mean, they hurt you after all. They made you feel bad. They brought shame to you or created problems for you. And you are mandated by wisdom to forgive them. So then doing that, you have to know what the power of forgiveness is. And the best way I can describe it is that's what it took for me to be saved. That's what delivered me from a life of destruction. That's what created for me an eternal life. And if it's that powerful, then in wisdom, I can give that to someone else. Because the ultimate goal of the believer is to be a light to that eternal life. And eternal life begins with forgiveness. So whether it's something that you exercise regularly and gotten good at, or something that you work at constantly because it is challenging, or if it's something that you've never done because you feel powerless in doing it. Remember this: if you received it and it created life for you, then if you give it, it will create life for others. So let's forgive.
Beyond the Barriers nugget of wisdom from Coach Cindy.
Beyond the Barriers radio show.
Ready to ignite change? Sand Hills Cooperation Association empowers historically excluded communities, helping them become self-sufficient. Join us every Sunday at 5 o'clock p.m. for our Beyond the Barriers radio show on WDRB Media with Mayor Sherry
and Coach Cindy addressing community challenges. Visit us at sandhillscooperation.org or visit us on Facebook, Sand Hills Cooperation Association, building brighter futures one community at a time.
We know that taking charge of your health is crucial, but did you know that many historically excluded communities face unique health barriers? It's time to break down those barriers and take control of your well-being.
In these communities, access to quality healthcare can be challenging, and that's why it's more important than ever to ask your doctor the right questions. Don't be afraid to speak up about your concerns or seek clarification about your health.
That's right, your health matters, and so does your voice. But we understand that navigating the healthcare system can be tricky. That's why we encourage you to visit your local health department. They're here to help bridge the gap and provide resources tailored to your community.
By taking that extra step, you'll be taking control of your health journey. So, what should you ask your doctor? Well, start by understanding your treatment options, discussing any potential side effects, and making sure you're actively involved in your healthcare decisions.
Remember, your health is your most valuable asset, and asking questions is your right. Let's break down those barriers and create a healthier, more informed community together.
Visit your local health department today and take the first step towards a healthier you, because everyone deserves access to quality healthcare.
Meet Dr. Brian Johnson, a man with over 30 years of experience in changing lives. He's the force behind the Life Change Group NC Consulting, a beacon of hope in Albemarle, North Carolina. At Life Change, Dr. Brian, co-owner and wife Carissa Johnson and their team offer comprehensive counseling for individuals, couples, families, and even teens. Whether you're facing substance abuse, seeking personal development, or navigating life's challenges, Dr. Brian is here to guide you. As a board-certified Christian counselor and life coach, Dr. Brian works with you to create strategic plans, shares valuable resources, and helps you overcome obstacles. The Life Change Group is not just about counseling, it's about a journey to change. Dr. Brian actively participates in community initiatives, from mentoring at-risk youth to addressing racial justice. He's making a difference, one life at a time. If you're ready for positive transformation, contact the Life Change Group NC Consulting, 980-354-4222. Serving Stanley, Montgomery, Moore, and Davidson counties. The Life Change Group NC Consulting, where change begins and community thrives.
Looking for top-notch screen printing at unbeatable prices? Look no further than Shirt Actionities, your family-owned, local printing experts. At Shirt Actionities, we take pride in delivering quality prints for all your events. Whether it's custom shirts for a family reunion, team jerseys, or corporate events, we've got you covered. We offer a variety of printing options to suit your unique needs. Visit us at 801 East Broad Avenue, Suite 24 in Rockingham, North Carolina, or give us a call at 910-997-2610. Shirt Actionities, where quality meets affordability. Let us bring your vision to life.
This is Mayor Sherry
And Coach Cindy, host of Beyond the Barriers.
Welcome.
Yes,
You are
welcome, Mayor Sherry.
Yes, good to see you
Yes.
as well, Coach Cindy.
Oh yeah, you know we have so much that we have to talk about.
Beyond the Barriers radio show.
This is a space where young people can really start to understand that they don't have to wait to make a difference. They can do that now. You think about the civil rights movement, it was primarily young people when it came to, bus boycotts and things of that nature. You think about even just the beginning of that. Claudette Colvin was the first one who decided to not give up her seat. She was 15 years old and she was unwed. She was the one that sparked the bus boycott movement. And so young people, I think there has to be a way that adults that are willing can get out of the way and partner with young people to help them to be able to do what it is they need to move forward. When you decide to speak out against things that you don't think are right and things that are unjust, you will come under attack. And I think that one has to recognize that is an active decision that you're making to live that sort of life, that you will be harmed. People will lie about you. People will try to tear you down. People will do all sorts of things. They'll come out the woodworks to try to destroy you. It requires a level of intestinal fortitude and gumption to say, you know what, no matter who comes against me, don't judge me by how many times I get knocked down, judge me by how many times I stand back up.
Beyond the Barriers Radio Show.
Don't miss out Sundays at 5 p.m. on WDRBmedia.com.
Are you ready to be a part of something bigger? Introducing the Youth Mentoring Collaborative. We're not just an organization. We're a movement dedicated to empowering Black and Brown youth through identity-affirming mentoring relationships. At YMC, we're on a mission to dismantle systemic barriers faced by our youth and their families every day. We provide training, resources, and advocacy to expand mentoring initiatives, promoting health and well-being for those most impacted by oppression. How do we achieve our mission? We achieve our mission through youth power. Youth power means empowering young architects of change. We collaborate with youth leaders, providing resources, training, and consultation to build a more equitable and just society. But that's not all. We lead awareness campaigns, collect data to identify gaps, and work with local mentoring providers. YMC enables organizations to start, manage, and expand high-quality mentoring initiatives, ensuring quality standards and supporting mentor recruitment. Join us in increasing engagement. We identify ways to leverage investments in mentoring initiatives, integrate mentoring as an evidence-based intervention, and advocate for policies to support the mentoring movement. At YMC, we're not just an organization, we're a vision. Through healthy youth-adult relationships, mentoring disrupts the status quo, building a safer, smarter, and more socially conscious world. Our values drive us: collaboration, relationships, growth, courage, and joy. Join YMC, where values are more than words. Be a part of a culture that's safe, meaningful, and committed to building a more just and equitable society. For more information about our services, visit our capacity page at youthmentoringcollaborative.org. Together, we're shaping a brighter future for our youth.
Attention innovators, community builders, and champions of positive change. Beyond the Barriers radio show is inviting you to be part of our empowering journey. We're on the lookout for sponsors who believe in breaking barriers and amplifying voices in historically excluded communities. Want to showcase your brand or cause to our engaged audience? Visit Sandhills Corporation.org to explore exciting sponsorship opportunities, from on-air endorsements to impactful commercials. Become a part of a platform that celebrates resilience, triumph, and community strength. Our show is not just about telling stories. It's about shaping narratives and making a lasting impact. By sponsoring Beyond the Barriers, you align your brand with a mission of inclusivity, empowerment, and positive change. Visit sandhillscooperation.org today to purchase advertisements, endorsements, or even secure a spot as a guest on our show. Let's break barriers together and create a vibrant, connected community. Beyond the Barriers radio show, where every sponsorship is an investment in positive transformation. Be a catalyst for change. Visit sandhillscooperation.org now. Beyond the Barriers radio show. Breaking barriers, building connections.
Join us next week as we continue our discussion, March into Wellness, Navigating Healthcare in the Historically Excluded Communities.
We want to thank today's guest, Dr. Jeannisa Bowden, for joining us.
Beyond the Barriers radio show.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. Continue to tune in every Sunday at 5 o'clock p.m. Please listen live 24/7 by going to WDRBmedia.com and click on the Listen Live tab. Also, if you want to be a guest on the show or want free advertising, call us at 910-573-3070 or email us at sandhillscooperation@gmail.com. Connect with us on social media at Sandhills Cooperation Association. Also, at Beyond the Barriers Radio Show. You've been listening to Beyond the Barriers Radio Show, and we are your hosts, Mayor Sherry
and Coach Cindy, on WDRB Media, the voice of the community, for double the information and inspiration. Sowing seeds of change, breaking barriers, and transforming lives. That's what we do at Beyond the Barriers. Until next week, continue to be blessed.
Beyond the Barriers Radio Show.